All right, guys, so today we're going to review lines and angles, and then we're going to look at some questions that you may see on an exam. Okay? All right, so let's jump right in. Types of lines. A line, that's a line. It's defined by having an arrow on either side. All right, that means that the line goes in either direction without stopping. Okay? All right. Now, a line segment is defined by a point and then your line and then it stops. Okay? A line segment has two endpoints. So it starts at a point and ends at a point. A lot like a racetrack. You're going to have a starting line and a finish line. Okay? So I can label these points as A and B. And I can call my line segment A, B, because it begins at A and it ends at B. Okay? Array starts at a point and it goes on in one direction without stopping. It doesn't matter which direction it goes in. The thing to remember is that it starts at a point and it goes in that direction without stopping. Okay? A point looks a lot like a decimal, but it's not a decimal. In geometry, a point can be placed on a line to show that point's position. Okay? So I can label this point as point A. All right? Parallel. Lines that are parallel never touch. Okay? That's the thing that you need to remember with parallel lines. They do not touch at any point. They do not cross. Okay? All right. Lines that are perpendicular, they touch, they cross. But the thing to remember about perpendicular lines is that they must form four right angles. So perpendicular lines look just like this because it forms four right angles. Okay? These lines right here are not perpendicular because they do not form four right angles. Okay, so let's look at types of angles. We'll start with an obtuse angle. Obtuse angles are wide angles, okay? They look like this. They're wide angles. They measure more than 90 degrees, okay? So these are greater than 90 degrees. So for example, if I have an angle that may be 120 degrees, or an angle that may be 94 degrees. These are all obtuse angles because they are more than, greater than 90 degrees, okay? Right angles. Right angles are exactly 90 degrees, okay? They are equal to 90 degrees. And you'll know a right angle because it forms a square. If you can put a square in the corner, just like that, it is a right angle, okay? Acute angles are less than 90 degrees. They measure less than 90 degrees. They look just like this, okay? And we'll put one of these over here too. So acute angles are less than 90 degrees. So let's say 84 degrees or 2 degrees. All of those degrees are less than 90 degrees. So that make those angles acute. Let's look at a question here. Which line segments are perpendicular to line segment DJ? Select all that apply. Now, the first thing I want to do, I want to find line segment DJ. Line segment DJ is right here. This is line segment DJ. Now, I can look at my question and quickly find the lines that are perpendicular to line segment DJ. But the thing that I want to remember is I need to look at my answer choices, okay? Always look at your answer choices, okay? The first answer choice is line segment CD. Where is CD? Well, CD is right here, C and D. Now I must ask myself, will line segment CD cross line segment DJ and make a right angle? Well, yeah, that is true, because if I moved line segment CD over, it would cross line segment DJ, okay? So CD would be one of my correct answers, okay? Let's look at CH. CH, here's CH here. We're going to circle it in a different color. Here's line segment CH. Does line segment CH cross line segment DJ? Yes, it does. But does it create a perpendicular line? Well, no, because I remember that a perpendicular line or a set of perpendicular lines must form a right angle. And line CH is diagonal, so it does not form right angles. So I know that CH is not an answer choice. Okay, now let's look at DE. Does line segment DE form a perpendicular line with DJ? Well, yeah, here it is. It's a lot like CD, because line segment CD is perpendicular to line segment DJ. So that would make me assume that line segment DE also forms a perpendicular angle with line segment DJ. So yes, DE is an answer. Let's look at the last one. GJ, line segment GJ. Well, where is line segment GJ? Well, here's G and there's J. And just like line segment CD, line segment DE, line segment GJ also forms a perpendicular angle with line segment DJ. So GJ is the correct answer. So all the answers for this question would be line segment CD, line segment DE, and line segment GJ. In a parallelogram, two angles are acute and two are obtuse. Which angles are acute in the parallelograms below? Well, let's look at, first of all, how to read an angle in a parallelogram or any other shape. Okay, so if you would notice in your answer choices, you have a couple of symbols. The symbol to direct or show you what an angle is this little thing. It's angle, all right? And an angle is defined by the points that you can see. So for example, if we wanted to look at the first parallelogram and wanted to find angle ABC, we would look at ABC, and then we would label it as angle ABC. Okay? So that's how you identify your angles. That's the first thing. Now, let's get some of this out of the way here. And let's look at our angles. we want to find the acute angles, okay? And remember that acute angles are less than 90 degrees, okay? They are less than 90 degrees. So where do you see angles that are less than 90 degrees? Look at your answer choices. You have angle DAB and angle BCD. All right, let's look at angle DAB. Where is angle DAB? Well, angle DAB, here's D, there's A, there's B. Okay, and the same for this one. Are those angles acute? Yes, because I know that acute angles are small angles. They measure less than 90 degrees. All right, so DAB is an acute angle. Let's look at BCD. If I look at BCD, these are BCD. So B, C, and D. B, C, and D. Are those acute angles? Yes, because they measure less than 90 degrees. Okay? All right. Let's erase these, and we're going to select this as one of our answer choices. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way. All right. Now we want to look at the rest of our answer choices because we may have more than one answer. Okay. So let's look at angle CDA. Is angle CDA an acute angle? Here's angle CDA. CDA. All right. Remember, acute angles are small angles. They measure less than 90 degrees. Obtuse angles are wide angles. Okay, so we don't want to choose any angle that's a wide angle. All right, this angle is just like this. That's a wide angle. It looks like it's more than 90 degrees. All right, so I would not choose that one because that's not correct. All right. So let's sort the options into the correct categories based on the measurement of the angles. All right, so we have acute angles, right angles, and obtuse angles. Now, right off the bat, I remember that right angles are 90 degrees. So I would put 90 degrees in the box that says right angles. Would I put anything else in that box? No, because right angles are always 90 degrees, okay? If it's not a right angle, it must either be acute or obtuse. It cannot be both, okay? So we've gotten 90 degrees out of the way. Now, acute angles are angles that measure less than 90 degrees. Remember, less than 90 degrees. So I'm going to put all of the numbers or all of the measurements that are less than 90 in that box. So let's put 15 degrees there. Let's put 60 degrees there. All right. And as I'm going, I'm moving them out the way so I'll know not to use it again. Now, I don't have anything that's less than 90 degrees. I've put them over in the acute angles box. Now, the only thing left are angles that measure more than 90 degrees. So they must be obtuse because obtuse angles measure more than 90 degrees. Okay, So let's put 100 degrees in the obtuse box. Let's put 120 degrees in the obtuse box. And we're going to put 160 degrees in the obtuse box. And now we're done. Trace the line segment below using your finger. Which figure did you trace? All right, so the question says we need to trace the line segment. Remember, a line segment starts at a point and ends at a point, but don't let your lines fool you, okay? Remember, a line is defined by its arrows, okay? So I wouldn't trace A because it's a line and it has arrows. That means it goes on into either direction without stopping, okay? I wouldn't trace B automatically because I know that B is an angle and E is an angle and F is an angle. So I wouldn't use those three. I'm only left with C and D. C has one arrow. So that means that my line is going into one direction without stopping. So if I remember my definitions, I remember that a ray is a type of line that starts at a point and it goes into one direction without stopping. So I would not use C. The only thing I'm left with is D. D is a line segment. Even though it doesn't have endpoints, I would assume that there's an endpoint here and an endpoint there because it does not have any arrows. So answer D would be the correct answer. Which of the statements below are true? Select all that apply. Let's remember to select all that apply. So we may have more than one correct answer. So we need to look at all of these statements. Okay? The first statement, figure A is a line. Is figure A a line? Yes, because it's defined by its arrows. A line is defined by an arrow on either side and it goes into either direction without stopping. Okay, so figure A is a line, so I would choose answer A. Now let's look at the rest of them. B, figure B is an obtuse angle. Is figure B an obtuse angle? Well, I know obtuse angles are wide angles. Wide angles, okay? So if this angle is a small angle, it looks like it measures less than 90 degrees. So that would make figure B an acute angle. So figure B is not true. Okay, so I would not select that one. Figure C is a ray. Let's look at figure C. I'm going to assume there's an endpoint here because there's no arrow. And then there's an arrow on the other end on figure C. So I know that this goes into that direction without stopping. Figure C is definitely a ray. Last one. Figure E is an obtuse angle. Okay? Well, yeah, figure E must be an obtuse angle because figure B is an acute angle. It's a small angle. And figure E must be more than 90 degrees because it's a wide angle. So yes, figure E is an obtuse angle and answer D is a true statement. So my true statements would be A, C, and D. Which of the statements below are true? Select all that apply. Okay. figure A is a line segment. Is that true? No. Why? Figure A has an arrow on either end. That means that figure A is a line because it extends into either direction without stopping. Okay? B. Figure B is a line segment. Yes, figure B is a line segment. Why? Because it has endpoints. Endpoints. That means that it starts at a point and it stops at a point. It makes it a line segment. So yes, figure B is a line segment. And keep in mind, we're going to select all that apply. So B is a correct answer choice, okay? A is not. All right, so figure C is a line. Well, it's a type of line, but I see that figure C also has an endpoint. And the only type of line that has an endpoint and an arrow is a ray. So figure C is not a line, it is a ray. Okay, so figure C would not be an answer choice. All right, figure D is a point. Well, yeah, I know that I can place that little dot on any line and it can be identified as a point on that line. So answer D would be a true statement. Okay guys, that's the end of this video. I want you guys to go and practice, watch this video over and over until you get it. On Thursday, you have a pre-quiz, and on Friday, you will have the real quiz. All right, so happy practicing, do well.